problems in my life. A ruthless focus on academic performance that created anxiety, a discomfort with communicating my own needs, a desire to keep things fine on the surface of relationships at the expense of being honest about my own thoughts and feelings. When the piers were put in our actual house, the homeowners hired a specialist, someone whose eyes were trained to see the sloped floor in the unfinished basement or the slightly twisted deck posts, someone who knew what it meant for the foundation of the house. But nope, I couldn't see those signs in my own life at all. I wish I'd known to see them as warnings, like the twisted deck or the sloped basement. I was blinded by how solid everything looked. I guess my working theory was that if I was good enough, I'd stay standing. But as it turned out, I wasn't all that good. Barely into my young marriage and professional career, I had an affair with a man at work. I was exactly what you'd think. A complete mess personally, professionally, emotionally, and relationally. I was too immature and too blind to see the cracks in my life that had led straight there. My husband and I had graduated, married, and moved to a new city within 10 days and had no people there at all. I was seeking acceptance and approval at work and building my future on corporate success. This guy represented those things to me. At home, we faced my husband's looming bar exam and then a dad diagnosed and lost to pancreatic cancer. We ignored the differences in our faith and often went to different churches or none at all. There was no emotional intimacy between us, and we didn't know how to communicate what was in our hearts. We didn't know what emotional intimacy even was. We never learned to support each other in bad times because as yet, we'd only had good times. A marriage is a life fully cultivated together as one. We weren't living as one. And I discovered really fast that I wasn't strong enough to hold it all up. It was in my mess that I encountered a living Christ. He came to pier my foundation. Not when I was strong, but when I'd fallen into the gaping cracks. During this time, Jesus became the steel beam below me. It took a lot of support beams to get me standing again because I was already in a pile of rubble. The first time I encountered Jesus face to face was in the middle of a run. Running had become my escape. I was running and crying and talking to him. I knew I couldn't live any real life in the tension of an affair. It was too dissonant. This life wasn't me. It was deceptive and disgusting. Except it was me. I felt trapped and didn't know how to get out. I knew the level of ruin I was looking at. Something stopped me right there on the sidewalk. I fell to my knees and said, "Get me out. However you need to. Break me. Break me." Those words had bounced around in my head for weeks. I knew they'd been planted there by the Holy Spirit. I had a sense they were serious, that I shouldn't say them lightly. I knew they somehow signaled that I was ready for his plan and his way of busting in to come and get me. Sounded scary and ugly and out of my control. My first yes to Jesus in years was in those two little words. 2 weeks after I dared say them out loud, a chain of events went down that led to my confession. I went home one day and told my husband about the affair. The relationship was also exposed around that time at work. I knew God was behind it all. I knew the crash was coming before it came. I knew it when I said those words to God. As painful as it was, I had a strange certainty it was part of something that had to be done. And I was right. The old foundation just wasn't strong enough. The weeks that followed were terrible. I felt more guilt, pain, hopelessness, fear than I thought one person could take. I couldn't eat. The only peace I had was the split second as I opened